everyone, and welcome to a Star Trek Adventures stream that we're going to play because we have a new book out.
Yes.
Called Strange New Worlds, friends. Here it is.
Ooh, they are strange.
This is such a sexy book. I absolutely love the cover. This is just working its way into shops now, and has been available on our online store for about a week, I think.
About that, yeah.
And it is packed full of adventures. One of them written by me, which I'm pretty proud of. And it's like a kind of sequel to our These Are the Voyages.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Right. So we are going to play,
And it's got Enterprise adventures.
So that's the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Is it has adventures for all eras.
Yes.
So in the first bit of the book, it's got like the Enterprise layout,
Awesome.
right? So, like
Look at
graphic
that, right?
style. It's been a long.
No, it hasn't.
And then we've got the original series as well, which we're going to play an adventure from the original series today.
Awesome.
And then it's got more TNG stuff as well from like the layout of the core book.
Yeah, awesome
kind of
stuff.
style.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So we are going to be playing an adventure from Aaron Pollier, who does a lot of our Starship stuff. And that is going to be called Drawing Deeply from the Well, and is adventure number 4. Or maybe 3, because it's chapter 4. If that makes sense. First of all, let me introduce everybody here. I am Sam, and I am the head of RPG development at Modiphius here in the offices in London. And I am joined by Giles and Rhys. Giles, who are you and what do you do for the company?
So my name is Giles. I'm a developer in the War Games department. So I do stuff for Fallout and our forthcoming Elder Scrolls game, and just help out any other department whenever they need it.
Awesome. I'm Rhys. I was in the last Star Trek adventure playing an Andorian, but I'm playing a Tellarite today. It's all about the alien races for me. I am the sales manager for Modiphius, so I make sure things like Strange New Worlds finds their way into your lovely hands.
Nice segue.
See how I did that? Professional.
Mate, you keep chilling it all night. I'm here for that.
I'm nothing but professional.
Cool. All right. Can I get a little bit of info on who you're playing? Because then I might then, as we're playing, get little cues of like little talents or anything.
Okay, cool.
You want to go first, Rhys?
Yeah, okay. So I'm playing a Tellarite, chief engineer. So I'm on the red dice, which is of course we're TOS. His name is Mon Bim Kafur. He's a lieutenant commander. I was brought up on my home world, but I've had a Starfleet background. I focus a lot on transporters and replicators because I was a witness to a transporter incident. And luckily,
Did you have that on the character generator?
Yeah, I did, yes. And I stepped in.
There's always one, right? So that's like number 10 on the random events for the life path.
But, you know,
every single group I know it's probably statistically right, but every single group I know has had a transporter accident.
Right.
And I'm just like,
they're very twitchy machines. Especially TOS era. Come on, look at the motion picture. It starts off with someone dying.
No, okay. But at this point in like not this point, maybe like in the next generation, in this point in Starfleet's history, there must have been like 1 in 10 people have suffered a There must be like, have you suffered a transporter accident at work?
Yeah. Claims line. Yeah. The DS9 claims line.
It's ridiculous. Call Quark 8553.
Yeah.
So what else? What else have you got?
So that's it really. So yeah, I like my engineering. I'm into quantum mechanics, transport and replicators. I've got a focus in hand phase as well, so I can handle myself a little bit. I'm a kind of Scotty.
Is this just your previous character?
No, because my previous character was blue.
And this one is tan. It looks like a pig man.
It looks like a pig man. Yeah, so I'm a pig man.
Key difference.
And he talked like that, very gruff.
Cool.
So a bit like Boris Johnson.
All right, well, all right. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Justin.
My character is called Quincy Mullaney. He is a chief medical officer. He is from Frontier Colony World. That may or may not be like Australia. So he's very much used to kind of working in the field of medicine, and he has a bit of a daredevil attitude, living in a frontier world, so he's not afraid to get stuck in. He is very resolutely a doctor, and he is definitely not an engineer. So we'll see how that comes into things.
And definitely not for copyright purposes, Carl Urban's McCoy.
No, absolutely
definitely
not.
Nothing like him.
Nothing like him.
So he's very much inspired by that kind of very boneheaded but kind of morally centered kind of doctor. So he's very loyal to the crew. He tries to know his right from wrongs. And we'll see how that plays out when he's put under pressure.
Cool. All right. Well, let's start drawing deeply from the well then.
Indeed.
And let's start with the captain's log. and I'll go through a couple of directives we've got in play, and I'll explain a little bit about that as well.
Cool. Good.
So you are on the USS Lexington.
Indeed we are.
Which was our living campaign ship for the original series.
Right.
And will feature in an upcoming product as well that we are yet to have announced that I'm very excited about. So that's why we've got the cool printout today as well.
Yeah, nice. Love economy.
And that is being captained by Captain Carol Moore, human officer who served Starfleet as a family tradition. She is an engineer at heart as well.
Oh, okay.
She never gives up on her crew, but she did lose a previous ship and crew as well. So she's got that kind of loyalty, I think, that you've got, right?
Yeah. We've all had a loss.
Yeah.
We've all had a loss.
Yours in the transporter, presumably.
Clearly.
Standard RPG background story.
I lost everyone and just walked off. Yeah.
I became a rogue. My
Damn it,
family
Jim.
died in the
Doctor, not a
transporter.
stereotype.
All right. Let's set the mood with the captain's log.
Indeed.
Captain's log, stardate 6977.3. Starfleet has ordered us to Star System J05 plus 833 to investigate a series of incidents occurring around an alien artifact nicknamed the Big Dipper. Reports indicate damage from weapons fire, and the Science Council is concerned that the Klingons may be attacking the artifact to deny the Federation the resources it generates. So, the couple of directives we have in play at the moment are discover any information on the builders of the Skyhook, and defend the Skyhook and the scientific and economic wonders it can provide to the Federation. So you know how you have your values there on the sheet that you can draw from, and you can basically spend determination, which you start with 1 each.
Indeed.
And you can spend that determination to push yourself further, to do another action, to re-roll your d20s, to do kind of stuff like that. I can give you complications as well based on your values, and that will give you another point of determination.
Okay.
Say about your loyalty to the crew. Say if you had to leave someone behind, I could be like, you don't want to do that, and I'm going to force you to stay here, but you get a point of determination.
I've left mine.
Rhys has no value. You have no value.
I've left mine open-ended.
That's so appropriate.
So you need to define some for me in play. So you
I will. Yes, I was going to use the first session to give you a bit of a.
So if you come up to a situation and you're like, I really want to spend on determination, then we'll phrase it.
Then we'll phrase it to a value,
right?
Yeah.
But these directives, discover the builders and defend the Skyhook, they're basically two kind of values, just for everyone to use. Okay. So if you can't think of a value that applies, but the actual mission value might apply, then we can use one of these.
Awesome. Good.
All right. So the mood amongst the crew is high after word has spread of orders sending the Lexington to a strange artifact nicknamed the Big Dipper. It isn't every day that Starfleet finds evidence of a disappeared civilization advanced enough to just construct something this huge and complex. Engineers have been reviewing declassified material. So your team, in fact, Rhys, has been reviewing declassified material about the construction methods that surround the object, even though what is available is pretty vague. Nearly every member of the science department has been debating the different aspects of who maybe built it and how and when. Even with this excitement, it does little to prepare the crew for the sight as your ship comes out of warp in the system. And I can imagine, with our definitely not McCoy, that you just rocked up on the bridge, just like, sick bay's fine, I don't care. You know.
Well, it's probably quite quiet in there, babe.
Yeah. So you're at your stations, you're chilling out in by the captain's chair, and it's strange to be exiting warp so far away from your destination.
Okay.
But everyone knows that Starfleet wouldn't give such orders without reason. As space-time flattens out and the stars around your ship slow down to a halt as you come out of warp speed, the view screen has to dim as the intense glow of a bright F-type star overwhelms the exterior visual sensors. The computer automatically brings the shields up as the temperatures rise on the surface of the outer hull. This is a bright star with some really hot planets in it.
Cool.
As the sensors adjust, what can be seen ahead is a unique sight that brings out the sense of wonder as everyone who has dedicated their lives to exploration and discovery. There is a massive gas giant known as Purgatory. It's a beautiful planet that you're now impulsing towards. Over 6 times the size and mass of Jupiter. Huge thing.
Nice.
On the night side, the constant strobing of lighting makes the planet's clouds sparkle, and on the day side, the streaks of black, brown, pale tan, and neon red mark out an upswelling of different materials from the deep cloud tops and the layers below. As large and striking as this planet is, and even at the slowly declining distance, the most obvious thing visible is the bright, glowing line floating over the planet, and that is the skyhook. Your destination.
Nice.
So this skyhook is like a kind of orbital construction that basically has like a central kind of what you'd consider to be a little starbase hub, a bit like the top mushroom of like Starbase 1, right?
Yep, I know, yeah.
And then from that are these long tethers, extremely long, that go down to basically this.
So almost like jellyfish-like?
Huh?
Jellyfish-like?
A little bit, yeah. Little like routine scans and the reports that you've looked at indicate it's all metallic. It's all like actually artificially constructed and everything.
Yep.
But they're they have some flex at them, but they're fairly rigid because on the end of both of these tethers, in like a kind of weird like Catherine's wheel kind of effect, are these basically almost big. They're like bussard collectors, right, on the front of themselves.
Yeah.
It's like that, but they're hollow inside.
Okay.
And for a sense of scale, you could fit 2 of your Constellation class ships inside of this.
Inside the collector.
Of the collector.
And they're spinning.
And what it does...
Almost like a water wheel kind of...
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it's doing to this gas giant. So as it's looping round into the layer, the upper atmospheric layers of the gas giant, it's collecting loads of natural material, particularly dilithium, some other, more simpler metals and other compounds and that kind of thing. And it's basically packaging them up into little containers, and then as it comes up into the outside of the atmosphere, it shoots them out into space. And then basically you can see from the sensors and from having you impulsed into this star system that there are little clusters of these things having, and some of them even in the Oort cloud, because this is an ancient construction. And all these little containers, all these little things that spew out of the collectors once they're all packaged up, have just been like shot out into the solar system.
Oh wow, so there's thousands of them.
Some of them are in orbit.
Right.
Basically, the SCE, the Corps of Engineers, have managed to get this working again in the last couple of months.
Right.
And it started again.
Right. So it's not. So it hasn't. We haven't turned up to an event that's been going on for millennia. If this is like an old disused thing that we found and got kickstarted.
The theories of the reports you've had are that there's been a break in that, but it has been going on for a while. You think because of the evidence around the rest of the system.
I think that's why we disengaged early. So
we go warping into a load of detritus. Yeah.
Okay. As you pull out of warp, the captain orders. Let's say Rhys. Let's say, Mr. Kafour, can you scan the system?
I can.
And just give us a status report.
Indeed. What would you? What shall I?
So this is going to be like a reason and science task.
Yep.
So the difficulty is going to be 0. So you're going to generate all momentum, and you can use that to obtain information from me.
So just one dice, yeah.
Yeah. So Giles, why don't you roll the ship? This is going to be so add the sensors and add the science.
So I've got 11
together.
Reason and science,
and that's your target number for that.
Okay, science. So that will be 10.
10. And the science is anything with a 3 or less is going to get you 2 successes.
Okay,
so do you want to buy any dice? So I haven't got any momentum at the moment, but because it's an immediate spend, you can give me threat for it.
I'll give you 1 threat. So I'll go for 2 dice.
Yeah, sure. So I'm on 5 now.
Okay, so I need 10 or less. 10? Did I say? Reason and science, 11 or less.
Yeah.
No, and no.
No successes?
No successes.
Well, because it's a difficulty 0 task, you succeed anyway.
Oh, okay.
but you can't obtain any more information from me. But you get a basic scan, and you relay the fact that Purgatory is the first of the 6 planets in the system. Right. So it's the closest to this very hot sun. The rest of them are rocky worlds, ranging from a Class N world to Class Cs and Ds.
Okay, cool.
Purgatory has no moons or ring system. Basic information on the Skyhook is also available, so it confirms that this Big Dipper is over 30,000 kilometers in length. The hub itself, in the middle, which is what it's rotating around, has some like gravimetric plating and stuff. But the actual big collectors themselves don't have any artificial gravity apart from the momentum.
So they're centrifugal force.
Apart from the centrifugal force.
Okay.
That is large enough, and you pick up life signs of about 200 personnel.
Okay.
And it has a shuttle bay capable of holding about 6 Type F shuttles.
Okay. Nice.
At the other ends, there's a huge ramscoop. I've told you about. You could fit 2 Connie classes in here, and that basically, as it collects, let's give it a good read from the actual thing. So, where's the bit about the actual stuff it collects? Well, so it's got some fields. Inside the scoops are a series of force fields and magnetic baffles that saw other materials out of the atmosphere. These fields move specific metals and compounds to furnaces, chemical reactors, refineries that purify them, and then they filter out common metals such as iron and nickel, and then they create casings out of those. So they've encased the refined material in the basic stuff, and then, like I said, they spew it out into orbit as they come out the other side. Remnants of decades of launches are still visible across the entire inner system. Each pod is slightly larger than Earth dock, with a mouth of about 2.2 kilometers wide. And the structure extends backwards into a kind of cone for about 6.5 kilometers to a blunt end with large impulse thrusters.
Okay. Cool.
It's the only Federation that's around here. Are there any other?
So you're near Klingon space.
Right.
So you're near the border.
And the personnel that's on the Skyhook.
They are all Starfleet Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, cool.
And there is one other ship in the system, and that is the USS Bunker Hill, which is itself a dedicated SCE ship.
Okay.
Because the Corps of Engineers do have some of their own ships.
Sure.
Which I'm not. I think it's a Telemeli. No, it's another Connie actually.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, that was one of the other ones. So the USS Bunker Hill is one of the smaller ones.
Like a scout class one.
Yeah.
Like the single nacelle ones.
Yeah.
Cool.
So basically, because of like the damage and the supposed what they theorize is like weapon damage to some of these collectors, they needed like a bigger ship. They needed like a proper Constitution class and a crew to come here and help them out with it.
Sure.
Basically.
So we're kind of running picket, but also helping out with data extraction.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You have a couple of options here now at this point. You can either head over to the shuttle. Head over via shuttle to the hub itself, or you can just beam over if you want to.
With the amount of radiation and with the proximity of this huge gas giant, I don't think teleportation is a viable option. I think we should go by shuttle.
Yeah,
Captain.
that.
I mean,
Captain.
You're going to spend all the episode's budget on these shuttle shots, right?
Right.
Yes.
That's all right.
We've already had the beautiful establishing shot.
All we have to do is just show it on the turntable and then show us getting off it.
Okay, fine.
Right.
Getting off.
There's low rotations, which is a stock image.
Okay.
Which is fine. The model shot, and then just us getting off the prop. That's
Sure.
fine. It's season 2. We've got the prop. It's fine.
All right.
Let's
cool.
do it. In fact, your big Skyhook is probably in the realms of animated. To be fair,
Probably.
they would not have made a model of that.
Yeah. Okay. So as you exit the shuttle bay, and you are greeted by a couple of lower decks officers to go up to actually meet the captain in like the kind of control center where they've basically got an ops set up. You'll notice that the hub interior is not meant for humans. Its doorways and rooms are larger and taller than normal, suggesting like a larger humanoid species built in. The wall surfaces and furniture are striking, almost artistic, made of highly refractive chrome.
Nice.
Probably with this budget, probably just like slapped on some
Some
kitchen foil.
Yeah.
But it's like highly refractive chrome with a pattern reminiscent of wood grain. So it's got some kind of shimmer to it.
Because they only had ply.
Yeah.
In the prop department.
Right. So in Ops, you meet the head of the facility, and she introduces herself as Captain Patricia Corsalia of the Corps of Engineers.
Cool.
thank you. Well, her and the captain exchange pleasantries, and then she sets you down for a briefing.
Cool.
Basically.
What was her name again? Sorry.
Captain Corsalia?
Patricia Cosalia. Cosalia.
Well, I spelled it with a K. There you go.
Cosalia.
I'll tell her right. I spelled it with a K.
You know we'll be like Cosalia.
Yeah, because that's how we do things. I'll tell her Prime. Okay, cool. So I'm hoping the captain will then ask for a debrief.
Yeah. Well, no. So you're all at this briefing.
Okay,
basically, as the kind of small away team that's come on board. So she goes to say that we discovered the Big Dipper inactive in 2249. It was discovered actually by the Constitution class crew of the USS Congo. The planet is an absolute treasure trove of dilithium and other rare materials.
Nice.
And we believe that whoever built the ship, the Skyhook, has done so to access the materials that are in the planet's atmosphere. My teams have arrived that year, along with another team of archaeologists and anthropologists, to discover any information about the builders of the Skyhook and to reactivate the systems. We were able to reactivate the Big Dipper about 8 months ago, after replacing all the deuterium intakes and ramscoop fusion impulse racks. It's a bit of lingo for you, mate.
Love it. Hold on.
Invert the polarity, mate.
Yeah, just flick
we had to. She says to you, like, we had to invert the polarity.
Lovely.
There you go. The scientist, the scientist.
hooves together. With trotters.
Well, hang on now. So Enterprise, they had hands, right?
They had hands. They have hands. They don't have trotters.
Oh, what are you going to do with trotters?
That's part of a teleporting accident.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
you were given hands.
You're Brundle pig.
Brundle pig.
Okay. Where is it? So the ramscoop fusion impulse racks have become clogged with recrystallized dilithium. The scientists had less success. The hub's onboard computers didn't have any information or databases beyond the internal programming language of the Skyhook controls. What insights this provided was limited. The language has some root words that are similar with Klingon. Their number uses a base 6 format, and she goes into some details about some of those. And that the control surfaces, and you can even see from the table you're on, they've got a little holographic. A little bit of discovery in here. They got some, a little holographic thing of the Big Dipper just rotating. Like a little model on the briefing table.
Nice.
But the little control panels you've got next to you for some of the personal displays, you can see that the controls, they're not Federation standard, and they have been built for very slender hands or manipulators as well. So some digits much finer than standard kind of humanoid fingers. And then she goes on to explain that the problems began 2 months ago, once the Big Dipper began to scoop up through the atmosphere. The dilithium concentrations in the atmosphere peak at around 50 degrees latitude north and south of the equator, and almost nothing at the equator. The Big Dipper seemed to reset at an inclination of 0 as a failsafe, and then we have been moving it up to the 50 degrees since. The problems first were minor. Unexpected energy anomalies in the power systems causing shutdowns of the refineries, the minor orbital anomalies. In the past couple of weeks, things have been much more extreme. It started when one of the ramscoops shut down entirely and an engineering inspection team found evidence of radiation damage from what could only have been a powerful nuclear weapon or photon torpedo. Sensors didn't indicate an attack or alert us to any other intruders into the system, just regular operations. The damage has been increasing, and each of the ramscoops is pockmarked with scars, and she expands the display and she shows you some of the pockmarks. This is clearly a live sensor feed. They have, as the Corps of Engineers.
There's not another season at this.
There
is just burning through money.
You've got this. And This is it, right? It's all cardboard scenery from
this
there on.
This is a season climax, isn't it?
It is, yeah. She shows you the damage to the ramscoops. A lot of it is just kind of on the surface. Yeah.
Does it look like it's been from a weapon attack or from like
entropy
or something?
They look like little explosions, yeah.
Okay.
So far, the engineering teams on the USS Bunker Hill have theorized that it might be a covert Klingon attack. It's to prevent this rich source of dilithium being used by us.
If it's covert, it could almost be Romulan.
this far into the Beta Quadrant.
They've got the cloaking device.
I'm very scared about.
So just so you know, in my character generation, Romulans were I have issues with Romulans.
They're a prominent feature.
Who doesn't?
Mate, it's the Romulans, mate. It's the Romulans.
Who doesn't have an issue with Romulans?
Shaking my fist.
I mean, yeah, right.
I just think it's something we need to consider.
Sure.
If it's covert, Klingons are less likely to be as covert. They're more for the glory.
I agree. If it was Klingons, I think we would have known by now.
You would have known by now, so I just think we need to keep our options open. There are other races out there that can use a lot more stealth tactics.
I said that more for the proximity of where we are in the Beta Quadrant, and the border isn't too far.
No. Just a quick hop over.
You have full access to the Big Dipper systems and may utilise any of the personnel on board and any of the equipment as you need.
Were any of the crew affected by the radiation, or is that being dealt with by any?
None of the repair teams have required any kind of medical attention. They've been very careful. What you do have to do as well, going to the actual collectors, there are no environmental systems and there are no real kind of landing pads as such. I think there is one on each, and you can get into some. You can access some systems, but we haven't been able to get to the actual core of the systems. Everything we've done to reactivate the Big Dipper has been from the hub itself.
Sure. So we've not been able to get into the actual scoops?
No. There are some automated repair drones that we did manage to reactivate and have done a fair amount of work with.
Are they indigenous to the hub?
Yes, we found them near the landing pads of both. But what we do have to do is either our engineers engage in some extravehicular activity, or they take a shuttle and have to land at specific points around each scoop.
Okay. Well, I think first things first, we need to delve more into this these weapon strikes, which is what I'm determining as at the moment. And I think, Captain, we should put the ship on yellow alert, just to be on the safe side.
Agreed. She flips out a communicator and communicates back to the first officer.
I'd like to take, if we can, take a team down. We need to do some closer inspections on these weapons, on these supposed weapon strikes, to determine their actual cause.
Certainly. First, I think there are 3 courses of action I'd like to pursue. We should definitely question the personnel on board and see what their insight is into these problems. They've been here much longer than we have.
Yeah.
I also believe we should analyse the logs that are on board the hub and see what we can gather from that. Aside from that, we should scan and explore the rest of the system and see if there has been any signs of other activity besides the hub and Bunker Hill.
Okay, sure. It'd also be interesting to find out who made this thing.
Yeah. If possible.
Agreed.
And where are they now?
Agreed. I'm not sure. She also speaks to the other captain who's been briefing you, Captain Corsalia. That, as I said, they've been here much longer. I'm not sure exactly what insight any more we could bring to discovering that. But if there is any detail about that, we will certainly get back to you on that. And she's thanked by the captain.
Okay.
All right, so you got kind of three starting off little avenues of inquiry.
Yep.
Questioning the personnel, analysing the logs, or exploring the issues.
You could do the question of the personnel as part of like a random medical.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've been on an alien construct.
Yeah, exactly.
For a time. So I think scanning them to see if they've been affected by anything.
I assume there was nothing about Captain Corsalia's kind of demeanour or anything that suggested she was potentially hiding anything. She wasn't nervous or anything. I mean, they've been out here by themselves.
She's been quite open, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And I'll see if I can tap into the hub and see what information we can get. Using the ship as a backup.
Always though, but the ship can always assist you.
Yeah, you're always using the ship. I've got the full computing power of a Constitution card. So.
Right, yeah. And they're dealing with a computer they don't know too well about.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And it seems to me that they've really just been concerned of getting the whole place operational.
The engineers certainly have.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the archaeologists and the xenoanthropologists, they tried.
Yeah.
They didn't really get too much out of it.
Mm-hmm. So it might be more of an engineering task than I can't even say it. Anthropological task.
There you go.
Just about.
All right.
I've had a hard week.
That's fair. That's fair. I always start my streams with, "It's been a week. Bear with me." All right, what do you want to start with?
I think we'll just check in on the crew who've been manning the station for the last 8 months.
Cool.
Obviously, so there's no medical issues, but being a stickler for protocols, I'd be remiss not to just check on their mental well-being, because there is anyone on a new planet or a new atmosphere.
A bit of subtle questioning as you do it, a bit of bedside manner questioning.
Awesome.
Where were you on the night of here?
Yeah.
So,
and then I'll see if I'll take a team to the hub.
Well, this is going to be a presence, and in the book I've got presence and command, but I like you going in through the medical route. So I'll let you roll with your medicine discipline.
Sure.
As well.
I think I'll start with the anthropologist and the scientist, the ones who are kind of
cool,
who are kind of being like wrapping their heads around the more kind of like less technical side of it.
There are only 2 here now, because they came originally in in 49, and that's been a few years since. It's been years since, for the sake of canon.
Sure.
But so like they have, it's basically like the last 2 people to stay.
Yeah.
To see if they could dig up anything else.
So these are like the last holdouts who really want to scratch.
They're a bit jaded and like. But yeah, so if you roll presence,
one of them looks like Phil from Time Team.
They totally can. Right, is that the guy with the hat?
With the hat, yeah.
Right.
Look what we got in here, Tony.
Another Tellarite. Okay. Another Tellarite.
Tellarite and a hat.
Tellarite from the West Country.
Yeah.
Here we go. I apologise to everyone who lives in the West Country. Right.
And that was presence
With
and science, did you say?
Presence and medical.
Presence and medical.
Yeah.
I think you'll be
Medicine.
better at that, right? Yeah.
That's 13.
See, I'm getting into
13.
it.
Yeah, 13.
Cool. So before you roll,
Yep.
do you want to
to
add any dice?
So I have investigation as one of my focuses.
Boom. So everything that rolls a 4 or under on each d20
Yep.
is going to give you 2 successes, not 1. So difficulty 0.
Yeah.
Did you want to buy any more dice with threats?
I think let's grab another dice.
Yeah, I think
Grab
so.
another dice.
Always buy a dice,
Yeah.
friends.
Always buy a dice.
Always buy a dice.
Oh, no dice. Okay.
You get, that's 2.
So that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah. But no
20s.
No. Thank God.
Okay.
No 20s, no 4s.
So they're generally helpful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they show you all the data they gathered.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look at my Big Dipper sidebar. The tethers are constructed of carbon nanotubes woven with a monotanium core.
That's foil and
Get your engineering on, mate.
Oh,
Wait, no, hang on, I have to do some West Country accent. The tethers are constructed of carbon nanotubes woven around a monotanium core. I haven't seen monotanium in years.
Very advanced.
A standing graviton wave generated at both the hub and each end of the tether. Goes into details about that, but they can't match the the design.
Yeah.
They can't match the parts it's made out of, the components and the architecture and all that kind of
There's
stuff.
nothing that's any resemblance to it in any way.
No. It's quite, like I say, artistic, quite curvy. It's got that wood panel effect on it and all that kind of
I'll be
stuff.
famous while I'm doing stick your tongue out, say "ah," and they're just.
Oh god!
Yeah, like when you go to the dentist.
Yeah. So how was your holiday?
The carbon structure. Okay, so and they're otherwise they're all in good health. Are they? There's no signs of agitation. Just probably stressed. Okay.
All right. So you got 2 points of momentum because that was a difficulty 0 task. Pop a couple of tokens on there for me on the edge of the thing. Perfect. Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So one of the coolest momentum spends in Star Trek is obtain information.
Yeah.
So you could ask me a straightforward question. I have to answer you truthfully to the best of my knowledge.
Team huddle.
But it has to be related to the test you just made.
Test made. Okay.
So the sound I don't really know. Well, it's tricky. Are they hiding anything? Do you think?
I don't think so. They sound pretty. They just seem very excitable students almost. So
how long do Tellarites live? This guy is probably old.
Okay, I think they've got a very similar.
He's a mature
age
student.
range
He's gone back to do his
Vulcans,
MA.
I think.
Because aliens are always younger or older than humans, right?
Sure.
Always.
Yeah.
So he's going to be older.
Yeah, I don't think he's like Kess.
No. I lived for 12 years.
He's not only 5
Or like 2 years old.
5, I think, on the other
Oh,
Emperor.
I can't
I
remember.
think they lived for 5 years, the other Emperor. But
Find out in the Delta Quadrant book when that
yeah,
comes out.
yeah, right. Or somebody will tell us in chat.
Yeah, I'm sure. Steve can Morse code it.
Yeah,
through
Morse
the
code
window.
it. Or just, yeah.
So what do you reckon? Do you reckon
Stand.
we should,
Back. No.
so do you reckon we should
There
spend?
he is.
Was that a 5?
8. Blink once for 8.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Between 5 and 8.
We're going to stop faffing around.
Yeah,
here,
between
so-
5 and 8. Okay, what do you... So,
I always forget, how long can I hold on to momentum?
You can keep them.
yeah, let's keep it.
I feel at the moment there's not really much we can get out of
Because I
that.
might need them for doing the
Well, so
middle.
it's like, so when a scene ends, we take one of those away.
Yeah, and I think we're able to get kind of copies of their findings just to send back to the Lexington for further analysis.
If you want full, like, schematic-y downloads, we can treat that in game terms as an advantage. That will allow you to do certain tasks, depending on the situation, but it will also make tasks easier that are related to knowing about that. That costs you 2 momentum.
Okay.
That might be quite handy, especially if
Let's
you've
keep
got-
hold of them for now.
Okay.
Let's keep hold of them for
Well,
now.
better.
You don't want the advantage?
Oh no, momentum generating
cheeky-
machinery.
little cheeky trait. Yeah, you do.
Go on then.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll spend the momentum for downloading uploading the
Yes.
schematics to the
Cool.
Lexington.
So we've got a trait in play called schematics.
Yes.
So that gives you a thorough, like, download
Yeah.
Thorough down.
of what the Big Dipper's like.
Yep.
Okay.
Or like the analysis they've managed to do on the actual,
Yeah.
like, what it's made out of, materials, all the architecture, everything the archaeologists have managed to figure out. You've
Okay.
got that.
Okay.
And you can use it. You've got downloaded in tricorders,
Yeah.
you've dispensed it. Because it's not just like having it, it's like this has a significant thing on the story.
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah, of course.
Or the game. So everyone's got a copy of it on the tricorders,
Yeah.
in the crew, like they've started working on it in engineering.
Yeah. Yes,
and
of course,
like,
they better
all that-
have.
all that kind of stuff, right?
I'll assign some interns.
Yeah.
to go through it.
Staff
So I
is
can
just
do-
interns.
yeah.
It's the ensign's job.
Yeah,
it's all the
it's all the
ensigns.
junior grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, ensign junior grade. Cool.
What was Rand again in the original series?
She was a yeoman.
That was the yeoman. The yeomans who just bring
There
cocktails.
you go. The enlisted personnel.
Yeah.
We're getting technical
Yeah.
now, friends in chat.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay.
Right.
Questioning the personnel. Done, I think. Okay.
Hub.
We can either analyse the logs or
Yep.
explore the inner system.
Should we go straight to explore the inner system? Let's
Yeah.
just, let's
think
just
so.
get on with it.
I
I'm an
mean,
excited Tellarite.
Quincy is daring after all, as
Yes.
is you're relatively daring.
I'm relatively
You're
daring.
more of a control freak.
I am more of a control freak.
All right.
to be fair.
Yeah.
So you want to fly the Constitution around a little bit. A couple of cool shots through the inner
Yeah.
system. There you go. Right. Quick shot, token shot, done.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. So, what I think we'll do here is I need someone to roll a reason and science task, or maybe like an insight and science, or I tell you what.
Yay. That's your
I tell you what. How about you guys tell me how exactly you are exploring the system, how you personally are helping this, and then we'll get a lead person on the task. I'll get whoever else to assist, and the ship will assist as well.
So I mean, I don't think I can use control, even though it's my highest. Control doesn't really matter. But so I think insight and engineering for me
Works well.
because obviously I'm using all my
Dealing with
engineering.
materials.
I've got my data. I'm sort of cross-referencing it with other, with stuff that's in the data bank. So I'm going to go with insight and engineering, which gives me a 15.
Cool. So like the
And the
captain
ship
is
is also going
the
to be
captain's
doing
on the chair. You're looking through the sciences
That's
scope.
it.
You're hanging out on the bridge because
Yeah.
why not?
dabbling in anthropology on a very amateur level.
Oh, really?
No, well, and
You got a
I have a
focus?
little bit of science. I have
okay.
investigation.
Oh, I'm not letting you have investigation. I'm not letting you have investigation here for
But-
this one, mate.
I'm performing surgery on the data.
I've got my
No, I'm not putting data.
I've got my quantum mechanics focus.
Yeah.
How are you applying quantum
I don't
mechanics to
have
the
a
situation?
clue. I don't know. I'll just go with standard, using all the standard bits and bobs,
Yeah.
computery analysing the data and shouting, using my control to shout at people.
Can you have a ganders at the ship for me?
Yeah,
just check if there are any talents that might help out during this thing.
Modular laboratories.
That is a favourite. We had that last time, remember?
Yeah.
So you can define for me an advantage. So tell me how the labs are set up for this particular mission.
Okay.
And they'll give you an advantage.
So the labs have got Indiana Jones in them, and Tony Robinson.
Okay.
No, I mean, as we're going on like I'm not going to. You keep making me say anthropological mission.
Set up for anthropology.
Yeah, I think it's set up for anthropology. Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll use that to cross-reference other ancient races and see if there are any lineage that they can draw from and stuff.
So this task will be difficulty 1, but because of the advantage there from some of the lab stuff, I will give you difficulty 0 again. So you get to roll all of its momentum and anything you generates momentum, and you can spend that to create advantages or obtain information as well.
Okay. So
all right. So you're rolling 2d20. So you got the ship to assist.
I've got the ship to assist.
Giles, how are you helping?
I am just.
How are you helping?
You got security 3. You can be on the lookout for Klingons.
Yeah, you can be on the lookout for Klingons.
While regaling the con with tales of my upbringing on a rural, semi-desert planet.
Awesome.
And
I lived on a gas giant once.
with a variety of bipedal mammals.
There you go.
So.
Mate, it was Space Cows last stream. I don't know how lucky you are.
Can we not have space camels?
No, don't worry. There are no space cows or camels in this.
Cool. Space drop bears. There you go.
You should always look out for the drop bears, even in space.
Space honey badgers. Right. Okay. So I'm using my insight and my engineering. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
If you roll for presence and security, because you're helping
12.
people, and the ship is going to be sensors.
8.
And what do you reckon? What's its focus here? Is it the planets themselves? Is it for any kind of dodgy warp signatures? Is it like a tactical appraisal of the system?
I think warp signatures and things like that.
I think tactical in the sense because we want to rule out whether it's sabotage or whether there's a threat out there.
Okay, so sensors and we got con, engineering, medicine, science, security, or command.
I think security.
I think security. Yeah. Sensors and securities. That's an 11.
So 11. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. No, you do yours one. Because you're 2 13s.
Yeah.
Unlucky for some.
Yeah. Was that insight and so I just missed that.
That was presence, I think.
Presence
and
I have presence. Yes. No, that's 12. So that's just falling just short. Oof. I was too into the storytelling.
You're only running one anyway.
It's fine. I've got 2 passes on mine, but not on the bridge.
So give yourself 2 momentum.
Awesome. Oh, mine was one of them's a 4. Is that? Oh, sorry, I just not the camera.
Oh,
I wasn't sure.
Steve will be angry.
Yeah,
he might have to come in and refocus.
That was kind of like screen wobble. Yeah.
We got too close to the start.
That's it. That screen wobble.
Did you have a focus that applied? I don't think you did.
No.
Okay. So 2 successes.
Quantum mechanics.
Success shows that there are thousands of small dilithium concentrations through the inner system encased in iron and nickel shells. You find no other power systems or strange energy fluctuations. If you spend momentum, they can also get information on the 2nd and 3rd planets.
Yes, please.
Okay, just put one back. You can have this. You can have this. You can have this for one. So you understand that the Class C and D planets, so planets 2 and 3, because the hot Jupiter one is planet 1.
Yep.
They show evidence of extensive mining operations, having depleted those rocky worlds.
Okay.
Depleted them of metals and rare minerals.
Wow. So they've been absolutely drained.
They're just
balls
of rock, basically.
Lifeless balls of rock. Yeah. Okay.
Are there any other questions you want to ask me about the system itself, or the scans that you have just performed?
Not necessarily the system, but the next system.
Okay.
So
we're talking on a long-range sensors.
Sure.
Like the galactic immediate neighbourhood.
So just to understand the system we're in, you've got the main star.
Yeah.
And then you've got
6 planets.
So and we're
hot Jupiter.
It's the first one.
2 rocky.
C
and D. And then you've got 3 others that are again pretty rocky and barren.
Okay. So possibility that they're in a similar
more Pluto-y kind of.
But possibility that they're in a similar sort of state is what I'd like to find out.
Okay, we'll spend that momentum.
Yep.
Yes, they absolutely are.
Awesome. Okay. I think. Okay. I think I've got. I think I know what this.
They show the same evidence on the more distant worlds, but there is no evidence of any buildings or technology on the surface.
I'm kind of getting an idea of what this machine is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a harvester of some description, isn't it? It's some kind of
combine harvester.
It's a combine harvester.
I'm really sorry, Aaron. It's a space combine harvester. We've decided.
It's a harvester of worlds.
Yeah.
There you
Nice.
go. There you go.
There you go, Steve. Episode 2, Harvester of Worlds.
Have you ever been to a harvester before? No, come on.
Other brands are available. All right, cool.
Okay, nice. Right. Okay. So, okay then. So,
I think we better see if we.
I'm going to kind of have a mix. I still need. I think we need to do some research.
Yeah.
And on these potential weapon strikes.
Yeah.
Knowing what having figured out what this thing is and what it's kind of doing, seems to me that it's working its way through systems, harvesting all this stuff, or has been.
Report comes through to the captain that they've received all of the logs from the station, from the Starfleet personnel. So they are available to analyse if you wish.
Yeah.
But for the purposes of the game, if you want to skip over that and head off to the actually looking at these impacts, then we can do that instead.
I think we should just check. We should check those logs.
Yeah, just to double check that there might have been a trajectory, like a flight plan or something like that.
Sorry.
See if there's a flight, where this thing originated from, because obviously it's not from this system.
No.
It's obviously I think it's originated out of system.
And where its next
where it's going to.
course will be.
Yeah.
The Dipper.
Yeah, see if so just to analyse the log, see if there is a correlating flight plan to the planets that have been stripped to where it is now.
Ooh, okay.
Because obviously we've assumed that it's gone toward these planets. It's making its way in the system.
So the SCE found it above the Jupiter, the big gas giant. So even just from the logs themselves, it's a theory. Possibly it did, but it would be really hard for the scoops to actually delve into the rock. Like it's clearly built for a gas giant.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's just one aspect that we know that works.
It's one aspect that could have happened in the system.
Yeah, it's just one aspect that's in the rock.
Do we know how long those previous planets have been effectively dead for? Anyway, we can kind of work out how long it might have taken for it to end up in that state.
So there's a couple of approaches here. You could theorize it with reason, or you can investigate it with insight.
My insight's 10.
Mine is 9.
And my reason is 7.
8.
Well, let's do it with insight then.
Yeah.
Let's have a theorize. Let's
investigate.
Let's sit down.
Yes. Let's have some investigations. No theology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you take the ship out to the C class and the D class world. Again, so the ship will be assisting with your investigation with sensors.
Yep.
And with some science this time.
Yep. And would it? I think the modular laboratories as well, because we are trying to determine age and. Yeah.
Anthropology is more the study of ancient societies.
We've got the yeoman's
or alien
Sure. No, that's fine. No, I get it. That's fine.
Rather than archaeology.
Yes. Okay.
Or even industry, which is kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah. Okay, no, that makes sense.
So difficulty is still 1. Who wants to lead the task? They'll roll 2d20, and then if you want to assist,
I think I've got slightly higher.
Yeah,
what was I doing? Sorry, insight.
Insight, you got 10. Yeah, so you got a higher one.
What was I? Sorry, Sam.
That's right. Insight, and what? Would you suggest one based on your approach?
Science.
Yeah.
Science, really. So 14 for me.
Any focuses?
Not for me. Not really.
Okay. Not a problem.
Quantum mechanics, no. EPS systems, no. Compsure, no. Not really. Computers, I'm not really examining computers. I'm not teleporting or replicating anything.
No.
And I'm not fixing hand phasers.
Fair.
Right, let's do it.
So, if you want to roll for the ship, then, Charles?
Yeah, there you go. So I'll go get a 14 or less. Oh, no.
No?
No. 16 and an 18.
That's a 4 on the ship.
So that is one success.
So the ship's got a success,
yeah. But because unfortunately, Rhys, you didn't get any successes, you don't get to add that extra success to the task. So unfortunately, you don't get any positive, information that you can actually quantify about how long these plants have been like this, how long it might have taken. Because there's just not enough information.
Sure. I mean, we can speculate that it's been a while.
You can.
The dead planets is going to take. It's going to be a while.
The mission is written quite technical. I'm really enjoying that bit about it.
Yeah, crunchy.
Off the top of my head, can't be that technical. So, I'll say, you can carbon date the worlds. You know how long they've been around and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
There isn't enough to go into.
There's nothing on the planet to date.
No.
It's been stripped bare.
Yeah. But you've got the dating of the rock. We know roughly how long Earth's been around. You can do all that kind of stuff. But
we know how long the planet's been around.
You can do the big picture stuff, but not the detail.
No, that's fine. That's all right. Right. I think we need to go and check out these impact points.
Okay. I think so.
Definitely. Because I think.
Are we able to keep people
somebody
still,
out there is trying to shut this down.
Are we still able to keep people working on this while we're out in the field? And so we might.
The ship would be doing stuff.
That's your advantage, right?
Yeah.
The little trait you created.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's your advantage. People still working on the archaeology of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Captain's
go.
log supplemental. The crew have been interviewing the staff at the Big Dipper, trying to find any external causes for the attacks, but with nothing to show for it. It's within the realm of possibility that the Klingons would attack this facility to deny the Federation the dilithium located here, but for now, they seem innocent. What we can say for sure is that something is attacking the ramscoops. I have directed the crew to focus on those asteroid-sized pods to get more information. Okay, to visit the ramscoop. Do you want to get up close, or do you want to start scanning it from distance? Start investigating it from here?
Let's just scan from a distance.
Let's scan from a distance, see where far we get, and let's get a shuttle prepped.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not teleporting down to them.
No.
So, doing a scan, Rhys? Insight and engineering I'm going to give you, because this is about analysing the actual engineering side of things.
Let's do it.
Difficulty 1. Giles, the ship. I need the ship to assist again with
sensors?
its sensors and science.
So it's done it. Yeah, so that was an 11, so...
Yeah.
That's one success.
What do I need?
If you can,
15 or less?
Yeah, if you
Come
can
on,
get a
baby.
success.
That'll do. That's a 6 out of 5.
Nice. That is two. That's 3 successes in all. You've got 2 momentum from that.
Beautiful.
Okay. So the basic information you get, there are some signs of incredible energy usage, including ionizing radiation pouring out of vents, cooling fins, still glowing bright yellow. This is so you're scanning the one that's not in the atmosphere, just as a kind of point of reference.
Yes.
Let's just say, you've been advised to do that. Trying to go down into the gas giant is going to
not
be
a plan.
very difficult.
Not a plan.
Not a plan.
Yeah.
You all know what happened to the Defiant,
Right.
In DS9.
Yes.
All those years in front of us.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shut up. Temporal mechanics, everything. Cooling fins. The wide spectrum of EM interference from various sources. And you can learn some more information by spending momentum on the kind of environment around the ramscoop
Just the one?
and that kind of stuff.
Just the one means?
You can spend as many as you've got here.
Okay.
So you know how we were giving threat for a lot of things
Yep.
last time? I have been playing Star Trek wrong for years, ladies and gentlemen. So this obtain information spend isn't immediate.
Right.
So you can't give me threat for it. So it's only the momentum you've got.
Right.
Okay.
So you can ask me up to 2 questions about the ramscoop.
Okay. Right. What do we
And
want to
I'll
ask?
give you more information.
What do we want to ask? We can what the blast points where the blast points are. Are they sort of kind of like? Is there a grouping? Are they like localized? That's one.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so they're pretty.
They do not seem targeted. You know how, in a space conflict, you would target like a weapons system.
Sure,
You target
exactly.
the bridge.
This is what-
You
yeah, so
you
this
target
is-
something.
yeah.
Then there's no grouping.
Okay.
So there
quite
are
random.
so a couple of impacts from explosions.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be focused on a particular system, both from the records you've got about what systems they think are where.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
And this top one, the landing pad's not been targeted.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can land on it quite happily.
Yeah.
So it seems as though whoever has been targeting this doesn't really know what to target.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, I have a theory about that.
Go on then.
Well,
if you've got a question,
so how? Do we know Can we tell how recent the damage or the impacts are?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they have been occurring over the last few weeks.
Right. Okay.
And they coincide, comparing the logs, with when the Big Dipper started collecting that dilithium from closer to that 50-degree point in the
so as it started
hemisphere.
moving up, they started.
Yes. So for the last few months, let's say like 5 months or so, from the equator, as the engineering team got it working again, they've been moving the orbit of the Big Dipper up in elevation along the the longitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right, isn't it? Latitude.
Latitude.
Tell us in chat.
Longitude, latitude?
I remembered it as like flatitude or like...
Well, whatever you refer. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just trying to sound intelligent.
All right, yeah, right. So it's been moving...
Moved north, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Has it moved north, Sam?
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
It's gone north.
It's moved to moved north by 50 degrees.
Yeah.
As it's got to that roughly 50-degree point...
These things, as I know.
It started to get, like, peppered by these impacts. Attacked by these things. By whatever this
Okay. Now, I have theories as well.
So, yes.
What are your theories, Giles?
Also, that actually changed my theory. So, do we actually? Is there anything? It's a gas giant, is there? So there's no. Is there anything there about the surface?
Gas giant.
So it's not coming from the planet or the gas giant.
Anything is possible.
Anything.
However,
there might be a thing inside the gas giant, like Bespin floating around. I've only crossed the streams.
Come on. Scan the gas giants.
I shall scan the gas giant, yes. I shall use my insight and my science. Sounds right, yeah?
Yeah.
It's got to be right, isn't it? Insight and science?
Yeah, insight.
Yeah.
In science, the heck out of it.
In science. And then from the ship as well?
Yeah, so
sensors and science?
Insight and science.
Yeah.
And this is going to be assisted by the ship. This is going to be difficulty 2.
Okay, so I need insight and science. So I need 14 on my dice. Sensors and science on the ship?
Yes, absolutely.
So that'd be 11 on the ship.
Giles, what do you
roll
think?
for the
So nothing, no help on the ship there. I'm good though. I'm 12. Yeah, I'm well in.
Well, hey, that is a success, but with no momentum. You do not detect any power sources on the planet. No vessels of any kind, and no life signs. Now, I mean that is. But like every gas giant, there are layers of different compounds and elements that make up a combination of from the core, from very, very hot core, out towards the more gaseous bits of the kind of outer parts of the planet. So where we would have a crust on Earth, it's just clouds and gas,
it's
and
different
winds
gases and stuff. Different, like a gobstopper.
Yeah, like it's really windy and that kind of thing. Yeah. But so. Your sensors might not be able to really fully penetrate through that.
I sense a reconfigured shuttlecraft at some point.
Right? But
just teleport down.
I'm not teleporting into a gas giant.
But with refocusing the set, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take one of these off for you and give you this. So, actually, give myself a point of threat. There we go. That's what I meant. So I'm helping you out, right?
Okay.
Because focusing the sensors on pockets of that, like part of that longitude, latitude, wherever it is, right?
Section
is you tease out some faint detections of anti-neutrinos.
Oh, I love an anti-neutrino
with an energy suggesting a nuclear reactor.
Ooh. Okay, and so but is that just like a broad bit of data, or is it like a specific? It's here, or is it to within 10,000 kilometers, or?
There are little.
I'm trying to get spacey by 10,000.
There are little blips along the planet, but along that point of the.
So there's like a flight path, or or several.
So the flight of the ramscoop.
No, these blips are they like sort of like several fixed points?
They are fixed points. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like a sort of like an ion trail or something like that.
No.
It's not like a trail of a.
No, it's not a trail. It's a fixed point.
So there's fixed points, right? Well.
It's very, very faint though. You get a couple of them, and then they get obscured again. You can't get a fix on them, but they're just points.
Okay.
Rather than having a trail, yeah.
Well, I definitely think we need a closer look at those.
Yeah.
Definitely need some closer investigation on those. Let's prep a shuttle.
Okay.
Let's do some modifications, like some inverting polarities, increasing the shield strength to take advantage of, into account the gravimetric distortions and distinct weather patterns of this gas giant.
I'm a doctoral engineer.
Nice.
I have no idea what you said.
Nice. I am going to give you a point of determination. That was cool. However,
thank you, Netflix.
However, the captain says, "Hold on a minute, Commander. We've gone from investigating the Big Dipper to trying to actually fly into this gas giant. That's a big leap for me. You're going to have to clue me in here."
Okay, I have reason to believe. Then this is just a theory, but I've never steered you wrong in the past.
Hey.
At which point, Quincy will tell the captain that he backs. Careful,
we have
because
reason,
sometimes
we
you
have
take
reason
risks
to
to
believe.
succeed.
On the data that we've gathered
Yeah.
from the hub itself, from the planetary data that we've gathered from the other planets in the system, we have reason to believe that someone is trying to shut this machine down. As it may well not only be a threat to the current planet, but also planets in other systems. I want to go and we've picked up in the impacts. We found that the impacts on the ramscoops are random. So we don't think the person targeting who's trying to target knows what they're targeting. They're just reaching out. They're panicking.
Yeah.
They're firing what ordnance they have to try and stop this. I believe they may be the answer with these blips that we've discovered.
What information have you got of the actual impacts themselves?
The impacts themselves are random. They're not targeted, and they are nuclear.
It's just weaponized nuclear, not
nuclear, and we are picking up nuclear reactor readings. So no one's used nuclear in hundreds of years. Not since the early days of the Enterprise NX-01 has nuclear been used. It's been a long way.
All right. But first, I want confirmation.
Okay, sure.
From the ramscoop itself.
Sure.
Okay.
Then we shall.
We need to be beyond all reasonable doubt before I intend to possibly lose a shuttle and members of my crew.
Sure.
To purgatory.
I still think we need to prep the shuttle because we're going to go to the ramscoop.
Yeah.
And that ramscoop is very close to the corona of purgatory. So I think a little extra shield enhancement cannot be a bad thing.
I mean, we'll need to.
I can do it on the shuttle if need be.
Very well.
I can jury-rig it on the shuttle if need be. And I think we need to land, and I think we need full environmental suits.
Agreed. Prep the shuttle, but
Yes.
First, visit the scoop.
Yes.
And
Aye,
then,
aye, Captain.
And then once we've got verifiable data, we'll go down to the planet.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
We should make it so.
Yeah. Right, so modifying a shuttle.
Why didn't I take jury-rig?
So extra vehicle activity, does that require anything to do with just understanding kind of small transport vehicles? Is that just the piloting?
That's spacewalking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you could be quite good at that.
Extravehicular.
Yeah, so you can be quite good. EVA, mate. When they go out on the old suits.
Yeah.
EVA. They go out in the space suits.
Yeah. And because it's the TOS, you got the silver ones.
Yeah.
With the weird.
With a big hat.
Yeah.
With a Kirk. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Not the nano.
No.
Modifying this Type F shuttlecraft will require
Yes.
success at a reason and engineering task with a difficulty of 3.
Right.
I'm going to make it difficulty 4.
Ooh, cheeky.
Just because.
Can I use some of the departments on the ship to help me? I have my entire crew.
You do, and in fact, it's a little known thing for the role that you've got, the assignment there on your character sheet.
Yep.
Chief Engineer, because it's scrolled away a little bit in the Starship chapter, but actually you do get an advantage when you're on the ship.
Yep.
Because you've got your engineering team backing you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's bring that back down to a 2.
Yeah. Okay. But the ship still. But the ship can.
The ship will assist. This is going to be engineering because I'll say this is the crew that is assisting.
So engineering.
The ship itself isn't assisting.
Okay.
Because you're not using the ship to modify the shuttle.
No,
you're modifying the shuttle.
Yeah.
Right? So the advantage that you get is that assistance essentially.
What we just done there.
Yeah. So it's just you rolling for this. Do you want any more dice?
Do I want any more dice?
Difficulty 2.
Yeah, it's security and no, not security at all. It's engineering and engineering. What did you say? Reason. Yeah. So that's
If you want to be the person theorizing the changes, it's reason. If you want to be the one in amongst the bits and bobs, could be control. If you want to be like, just shove that there, put the power up, it's all fine, that's daring. Like,
you know what? I'm going to go engineering and control. I'm going to be the one telling them exactly what to do.
You're like micromanaging, like, no, move that ship,
absolutely.
That ship 3 centimeters
and
to the
I'll
left.
give you 2 threat for another 2 dice as well.
It's going to be 3 threats.
3 for 2 dice.
For 2 dice.
That'd be
yeah,
let's do
the
that.
cost kind of escalates.
Let's do that. So I've got so 12. So I've got to get 17 or less.
Mate.
I'm flying into the corona of a gas giant in a shuttle.
Yeah.
So effectively made of cardboard and plywood.
Like actually.
So that's 3 successes and no 20s. Yeah, 3 successes.
No 20s.
All right. No 20s. It was a 19.
Cool. So you got 1 point of momentum there. Hang on. I've done all my maths wrong. So I said difficulty 3 to begin with, right?
Yeah, and then you went
I
to 4.
upped it, so 4.
And then you dropped it by 2.
I dropped it by 1 for your engineering.
Okay, yes.
Sorry. So that's what I should have done.
That's fine. I still got 3 successes.
3 successes. So basic success. So it ends up that the majority of the interior space of the shuttle is filled with spare fusion power cores and extra EPS relays.
Yes.
If you get nudged, if there's a moment in the shuttle at all, some of these are going to be just exploding.
Well, hopefully they'll be ratchet strapped down.
yeah. But it's all power systems. Like, they're going to go up. In typical, like, we've taken any damage whatsoever, a crew member flies over a console.
Yeah.
You know.
Space rocks.
Space rocks
everywhere.
Why do we fill our consoles with rocks? Right. So extra EPS relays between the power plants and the shield grid.
Yeah.
So you've enhanced the shields. You've got some sensors that hopefully can cut through all of the atmosphere.
Yep.
And then you'll have to make a careful choice of who to send down into Purgatory's atmosphere. I'm looking at you, chumps.
Yes.
Oh no! I'm going to send some chumps from engineering, and I'm just going to sit back. And I want the ones in the jumpsuits.
All right. Cool. Okay, the enlisted person. Right, so
the yeomen.
Yeah. So you can grab some crew using your crew support.
Yeah.
So you can get a total of
we'll go
4 more enlisted crew.
Sure, we'll do that. Crew support 4. Can we fit 6 people in total?
I've got a shuttle diagram in here actually.
Well, they usually take 12.
So I mean, we've got this is 4 seats, but they're doubled up, right?
Yes. Yeah, so it can take 12 passengers, I believe, and 2 pilots.
It might even say in the stats you've got down there.
That would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Let's have a look.
So shuttlecraft, 1 or 2 plus 6 passengers.
There you go.
So there we go.
You've got a pilot, a co-pilot,
and 4 other jumps.
4 other jumps. 4 jumpsuits.
Yeah, 4 jumpsuits.
We'll just call them jumpsuit because if we give them names, we'll get attached to them.
Yes. Ensign dead. Ensign slightly burnt.
I don't even have a name tag. Cool.
Ensign turns up in med lab at the end, going, "Did we do okay, Captain? Is the call given?"
All right, but you have been ordered to head over to the.
And there is a landing pad.
There
on the ramscoop.
There is inside the ramscoop. There is There is somewhere.
Like a shuttle bay.
I'm sure I've read it. There is like.
Yeah, you did say that when we were doing the analysis or the targets.
Yeah.
You said that the landing pad wasn't damaged.
Yeah.
See. So that's cool. See, I remember my facts. I'm gonna have to write everything down.
No.
Cool. Let's go.
All right.
Let's fly this baby. I'm not going to fly because I've got no, I've got no skill in flying.
As you approach, you can. Also important is an area giving off high levels of infrared and X-ray radiation, the far side of the ramscoop. So to investigate one of these places, as you approach, you single out 3 locations. This is a radiation venting, which is where the high levels of the radiation are coming from. Cooling fins, or a location of EM interference. So the sensors can't quite lock onto that properly. To approach any of these is kind of extravehicular, and you will need to take your shuttle to that location, either inside or outside of the ramscoop itself.
Yep.
However, each time you move, you are going to need to perform a control and con task with a difficulty of 2 to approach safely.
Okay.
Failure represents not taking into account the orbital motion of the ramscoop and bumping into it.
And getting hit.
Yes.
By a 20-kilometre thing. Oh, there it is.
And that's when your EM conduits all go up.
Yay! Right. I've got EPS systems.
There you go.
Focus. So I'm
EPS conduits.
I'm doing stuff. That's why I can't go out.
Don't nudge the shuttle.
That's why I can't go out, right?
That's
why I can't go out in the EVA.
Fine. I have composure.
But you are a doctor, not an engineer.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
He's only got to go there with a tricorder. I know,
Just scan it.
I don't want him to fix everything. You just got to scan it. It's just got to press
Just
the
through
right
the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that then. So let's go check out. So what have we got?
Who's piloting?
Well, not me. I'm
Is it
making sure things don't explode.
All right.
Ensign,
So,
special guest star?
okay, you're definitely not piloting
Ensign
because this is going to come down to an ensign.
Ensign pilot. Right. No, all right. I'll pilot and I'll have stuff in front of me.
Because like in the back, grab one of the Starfleet NPCs.
No. I'll pilot and do the thing as well. That's fine. I can do that. I can pilot with control, right?
Oh, you can. In fact, this is a control and con task. With a difficulty of 2. The shuttle will assist with engines. So you're looking at the shuttlecraft,
so 7
engines and con.
Okay, that's 9. Yeah,
9. Okay.
If it gets a 2 or less, it's 2 successes because ships always have focuses that apply.
Should we have another dice for have some fret? I think we should.
Yeah, I think so.
That's nice. Quite tricky. Oh, another 2 dice. What do you think?
Little things.
Should we have another 2 dice?
Yes, let's just have it.
Let's do it. Let's have another. Yeah, come on.
It's going to be some direct spends here, folks.
Right. I don't want to be hit by a large.
Do you have any focuses?
Not on. No.
Not for this.
Not for this.
All right.
No.
That's the last time.
I've got EPS systems to stop it from exploding.
Sure.
That's it, really.
We're very composed.
That's the last time I'll ask. So keep looking at your focuses.
Yeah. I will. Well, he's got EVA, so when he goes out,
so you're good on that.
He's EVAing all over the ship. Right. So control and
the
com,
ship.
didn't you?
Okay. Difficulty 2.
So 14.
For the ship first.
Oh.
A 9.
9. So it says engines and con. Yes, that is 9. So no.
Yeah. All right. It's all you, buddy.
So a 9 and then 11, and I have got control and com was 14.
Oh, that's all right. You got 3 there.
That'll do, won't it?
Give yourself a point of momentum.
Thank you very much.
Okie dokie.
There we go. I am juggling.
Okay.
Where do you land? Radiation venting, cooling fins, or the EM interference?
Straight to the EM.
Let's go straight to the EM interference.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, you're on the wrong. Where would you like us to go, Sam? What page are you on?
There are a few sources of EM interference coming from the ramscoop, and you focus in on one, and then chuck him out on a tether to take a look. One is a faulty containment vessel in one of the many fusion reactors from the impulse drive at the rear of the ramscoop.
Yep.
You are standing. Well, you are floating.
Yeah.
Right near the impulse drive.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
You're not going to. You might get blasted off into space.
He's all right. He's on a Tesla.
Don't roll in 20s.
No. Okay.
All you, baby.
So, what do I get to roll extra for having the extra vehicular activity?
So you don't roll any extra stuff, but
That increases that focus, though, isn't it?
any discipline that you use
Uh,
will be your crit range.
Okay.
There's a large blast crater here.
Bodes well.
I don't think you can get away with using
The
medicine.
usual dark patina has been blasted away to show a shiny, almost polished hull. Okay.
Similar
so
to the
you will
inside.
you need to study this feature.
Yeah.
To
Is that similar to
figure
the
out what's
inside?
going on.
Similar sort of.
So,
Yes. Similar materials, polished. This is the polished wood effect metal.
okay.
Thanks.
Right, why not?
Thanks, aliens.
I'm sure they'll sell it in IKEA.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So,
the silver
would I
wood.
be able to use the investigation focus for that?
You can use your EVA focus.
EVA?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're
You're floating around in space
floating
doing
around in
stuff.
space.
Doing space stuff?
Look there.
So, what do I need to roll for attributes and disciplines? So,
this.
So-
So how are you investigating this blast crater?
I need to probably get close enough for my tricorder to record some data at least. And over the comms, this is incredible, you know.
Oh my god, it's shiny.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know who that was.
I'm Richard
I like
Nixon.
him. I want him back.
I'm Richard Nixon now, so.
It's so shiny. At least by
So, I mean, this is actually quite risky. So, I think I'm going to use daring.
Ooh.
Because although it's
You know what? That is a great GM choice. Thank you for that.
Bit of daring.
Daring.
Now your discipline. This is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you'll get your focus range on.
Yeah. So,
You can't really use medicine.
No.
You've got to reason it with me here, man. Not reason your thing. You've got to convince me.
It's got to be command, surely.
I command you, give me your secrets. No, I think.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me your secrets.
I think security, just more tactical perspective. I'm trying to
Alright.
be more.
All right. I'll give you that.
That was.
That's all right.
I had a word for that. Okay, so that would be 13.
Okay.
One success.
One success.
Yeah, I was so overawed by the shiny and.
Yeah. The sun hit you in the eye.
Yeah. It's so bright.
It's so bright and shiny.
Okay. So
Kafar is so bright.
with one success, we have got radioactive decay on the impact, because you're looking for some nuclear evidence now. Shows that it was not an antimatter weapon like a photon torpedo.
Way.
And the only reason the damage isn't more severe is that the hull of the ramscoop is incredibly tough. Would you like to ask me any questions?
Yes, we would.
Yes. So
it's not.
It's not from a nuclear strike. So it's not from a nuclear strike.
Well, no, it's not an antimatter.
Okay.
So that's not.
It's not an antimatter weapon.
So that's
not different from nuclear.
So that's not a photon torpedo.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's not of any kind of technology that the Klingons or the Starfleet might be using.
No.
The last time that nuclear torpedoes were used was during the Enterprise era,
so about 100
when they
years
had
prior.
spatial torpedoes.
Yes.
100 years ago.
About 100 years ago.
Will there be any energy signatures that might kind of confirm if it will say like a Federation weapon or?
So you could ask me, was it a Federation weapon?
Yes. I'll spend
It was definitely not a Federation weapon. The blast pattern and the radioactive decay show it was a combination fission/fusion device with a projected yield of 600 megatons.
Wow.
Far larger than anything that developed on Earth during the 20th and 21st centuries.
That's still a nuclear weapon.
And is only matched by a 23rd century photon torpedo. So this is a nuclear weapon
on the same scale,
of the same magnitude as a photon torpedo.
Right.
Okay. So, okay.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Think obvious questions as well, guys.
Yeah.
Like, where did it happen, or when, or stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, sort of.
Well, we kind of know when, though.
Yeah.
It's been when the ramscoop started up a few months ago.
Yeah.
So we know the when.
Ago,
so we know the when.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering if there's any way we can plot a trajectory.
Is there a blast point origin?
Like a blast?
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
We can determine an angle of attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
So.
And that angle of attack is as if it's from a surface to air style weapon.
Right. Nice.
So it is in effect a missile.
Yeah.
Or
a directed missile.
It's because there's difference between the difference between missile and I think torpedo or something is the guidance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is effectively like some kind of missile.
Like a ballistic missile.
Impact.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of lends a little bit more.
Yeah, so there's a bit of exposition
So-
about
so
like
the-
Cthulhu.
the-
It lends a little bit more evidence to our theory of
Absolutely.
it's come from the planet. and
Yes.
this thing.
So that is what I'm confirming.
Yes.
Is that
Awesome.
yes? It's
Yes.
it's surface to
Yes.
to air.
Or surface.
Surface, whatever's down there.
Yes.
Upwards.
Okay.
So
Cool.
we had a bit of exposition where we can do this is
Yeah,
confirming your
now-
theory. Yeah.
So we got that. Do we need? The captain seems a little bit of a hard ass. So do we need to get some other?
Keep the comms on private.
yeah. Of course, this is a closed channel, mate. I'm
Yeah.
buttons and twiddling things.
However,
Suddenly the Klingons turn up.
No, you left the comms open. Actually.
as you like float and turn in space, you see a load of these tiny containers. They're probably about kind of that big in action in our scale, like actually flying at you.
Oh,
And one of
These are
them,
the dilithium pods.
yeah, dilithium
Oh,
pods.
my word.
And one of them has an impact towards you.
Oh no!
One,
That's
2,
not
3,
good.
4, 5.
That's not good.
So with that, you will potentially suffer an injury.
okay.
Which means if you do not get medical attention,
Okay.
you could die.
Right.
It's just gone bosh. It's teared a hole in your. In fact, I'll do a couple more of them. It's torn a hole in your spacesuit. There's gas gushing out of one side. It's sending you spinning on a tether. Like
Surely we can pull him in on the tether.
Yeah. So someone at the helm's like, "Commander, look!
Pull him in! Pull him in!"
All right, and so you get into the airlock, and he is unconscious, not responding.
Right.
But he is just like.
Okay, I've got no medical whatsoever. We need to get you back.
This
to the
will work
ships.
absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay. Can I? Okay. So let's turn this. Let's get the ship. Get the shuttle to the ship immediately. As soon as we're within safe distance.
Mate, you can do a site-to-site transport if you
Exactly.
want.
Well, no, because we're still
Sick
quite
bay.
close to the ramscoop. This is what I wanted to go and then do it as we.
Okay, cool. So you get your jumpsuit helms person to like swing the shuttle around and,
and then
fire it towards the ship as soon as you can.
Emergency beam out.
Emergency
beam
beam out.
yeah.
Site-to-site transport. Site-to-site transport. You need to make me. There is on one of the reference sheets. I think it's the internal systems one. All right.
I've got
Drama. Juicy fruits. Here we
internal
go.
systems reference. There we
Right.
go.
Transporters is on there. I
yes.
know it's difficulty 3 because this is site-to-site. But
assisted by engineering circuits only change difficulty. Yes.
so this is difficulty 3, site-to-site transport.
Yeah. Okay.
So just because I think it's an
Control
engineering.
plus engineering.
Right, this is you, mate. This
Do
is
it.
you. Like, give me patch the controls through to the helm,
Yeah.
to the co-pilot.
I have 3 more for it.
3 more. How many dice did you take?
I've got 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then can I get the ship to help?
Yes, the ship will help. So why don't you roll for sensors and engineering?
That is
So 8.
And I remember your focus. Transporter
Transporters
systems.
and replicators.
Right, so anything that rolls under a 5 is going to give you 2 successes.
Right. So sorry, what was the ship again? Control and engineering on the ship. Yeah.
Oh wait, you need a 3 for this, mate.
Yes.
Go on. That's a 4. That's a 5. 4 successes. Any
That's good.
more?
That's it.
You're looking for a 17 there. So that is all successes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Give yourself. It's 2, 4, 5, 6. Give yourself 3 momentum.
Nice.
You are beamed straight to sick bay.
There you go.
Can you find me in towards the back of that in the final chapter?
And there's
In the core book in chapter 11.
Yep.
I need a medical person because our chief medical officer is the one.
Let's see if I
Keep going, mate. That's quite a way.
okay.
After that chapter 11 we need. Almost.
And life is in the balance reach. Come on.
Come on.
No, I'm really.
Really
Come on, man. So Starfleet is first. Yeah. So flip it over. Have you got any medical people? Science officer will do.
Who's got this? No. Give me to a Klingon.
He was my surgeon assistant, so it's fine.
No.
Science officer.
Come on, just do the science officer. They've got some medicine, haven't they? 2 medicine, 2.
Two medicine. I've got medicine 1. No, you've got security or comp.
Yeah.
No, let's do him then. Come on, Nurse Chapel.
Right.
All right. So you're attended by nurses.
Okay.
All right. And so this crew member we've got from the crew support. Is so they're leading the task.
Yeah.
So they get to make the roll 2 dice, and they can buy more if they want. We'll give you this one, shall we?
Yeah.
It's you in the it's you in the chair, as it were.
Yeah.
So like medicine and there is actually, I'm sure, a thing.
I want to see his character like hang on.
Yeah.
Hypo-spraying himself.
If she can just resuscitate me, I will finish the rest of the operation.
Nice.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Get away from me with those butcher's hands.
All right. I think it's gonna be daring and medicine
Daring and medicine, okay. Should we buy...
for this crew member.
Yes. Can we can't use momentum to help this, can we? Whichever we can only spend threat.
No, but if I...
No, you can. So for buying dice,
Yeah.
you can always give me threat. You've got 3 momentum sat there though as well.
If I can resuscitate, I will use momentum to perform
Fine.
quick surgery.
Go on then.
So I'll buy threat for an extra dice.
Okay.
And that was daring and medicine.
Yes, it was. This is difficulty 2.
The
Ship will assist with its
Medicine of 2.
Yeah, medicine and sensors.
Yeah, that's like...
I guess.
I guess so too. Let's use that.
Oh, bang on.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. How many?
So that is 1, 2, 3. That's 3 successes.
3 successes.
Boom. All right.
Cool.
Give yourself a point of momentum.
Okay.
And you are now stable and conscious. You
so
have awoken on the surgery
Yeah.
table in sick bay.
I make a real big kind of like as I come back to life.
The nurses and the orderlies all like jump. Ah!
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a patient.
So,
Did you just steal his line?
I grab the laser scalpel off the nurse. Like, give me that. This is a job for a professional, and I
just do search for himself.
The confidence in your team is amazing.
I will do that, and I will use momentum to remove any crippling injuries that might happen to me. I guess if that's allowable.
Sure. Off of their own.
Again,
is this your frontier medicine?
Daring and medicine.
I'll tell you what. Right, I want you to roll a task.
Okay, sure.
You've actually got a task now, but this is surgery on yourself.
Surgery myself.
So, this is going to be difficulty 2.
Okay.
Because it's on yourself, it's difficulty 3.
Sure.
And I'm going to raise it to difficulty 4.
Gosh, I shouldn't have insulted that nurse now, should I? Because I'm going to need it.
Complication range, because you are working on yourself.
Yeah.
If you roll an 18, 19, or 20, I'm going to give you a complication, a lasting injury.
Okay.
Like a permanent scar.
So I'm new for. Does this count as field medicine? I'm in the field.
I will give you field medicine because it's very.
It's literally triage. He's literally triaging himself.
So that's 2 dice and it's 18.
And the ship helps
20,
with medicine and sensors.
Or maybe computers as well, or something. Because we had a lot of sensors, haven't we?
Yeah.
Computers
Let's
seems
do
the most
computers.
sensible.
It's not weapon structure or engines, is it?
Let's
do computers. As the computers like keeping him
diagnosis
and keeping him pumped with drugs to keep himself awake.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Computer, help me.
Okay.
So you didn't get any 19s, 18, 19, and 20. So that's a good thing.
That's all right.
No. So I've got a 9. So I haven't. That's not a pass. But you've got 1 pass.
Yeah.
1 success.
1 success.
Is not enough.
Coming up. Spend some momentum to make
yes.
Well, you didn't buy any dice, did you? And it was difficulty 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Right, you have
a brilliant career cut short.
You have this industry. Industry? You have this injury.
Yeah.
All right. So this is another trait in play. You know how you had the advantage before with the labs and the doodads?
Sure. Could not use determination.
You can use that to ignore it.
Yeah, so
when you do one task, that's like a one-off thing. It's, it's not just I now. It's not just I now ignore it forever. You can do that kind of once.
Yeah,
so
sure.
like So.
Well, I just wondered if he could use his determination on his focus of surgery or his talent of field medicine. Okay. I'm trying to save you.
Tell you what, no, you're absolutely right. Okay, so you could spend determination using one of your values to re-roll both of your d20s.
Sometimes you have to take risks to succeed, which is what I'm doing by performing surgery on myself.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So because
you're 50-50.
We have kind of rock and rolled our way through this session. So let me take stock and remind you of some core rules. And actually, I'll take back. You can add some more dice now if you want to. So you can spend momentum on that. You can, so you've spent your determination.
Yeah.
But one thing you can also do with a determination is you can give yourself like a guaranteed 2 successes. So you add a dice to your pool, but it's already rolled a 1, giving you 2 successes.
Okay, nice.
And then you can buy more if you want to.
Yeah.
Do that, man.
But you spent your determination.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can't do that, unfortunately.
No.
But you can buy more dice with momentum and then threat if you haven't got enough.
I need all the dice really, don't I?
Yeah. So how many can we get? Would that be 2 dice? With
4 difficulty.
3 momentum gives us 2 dice?
Yeah.
Is that right, Sam?
3 momentum give you 2 more dice to roll.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. I'll take the other one.
Field medicine talent. I don't know what that is. We need to write these down for next week.
Yeah.
So that we know them for sure. There's not enough space on how. All right.
So one of these is an automatic one, is it, or is it one of?
No. So take these back.
Yep.
You get to re-roll those.
All of them.
Yeah, because you spent your determination.
So that's good. That's not
that 4 is equal to your medicine.
Yeah.
That's a crit. So that gives you 2 successes. But there is a complication with the 19.
So it's 4 successes and the complication.
Okay, so because you're removing actual injury from yourself, I can't give you a complication specifically about that. So I'm going to take 2 threat instead.
Okay.
Might come out later. Because you have been really daring, and you're like, I'm fine. And then the nurse is like, Doctor, I don't think you. Shut up. I'm fine. It's all very 60s.
Yeah,
I got this.
Which brings me a martini to sterilise.
Yeah. You just down a load of Romulan ale, and you're just like, I'm fine. I'll just tough my way through this.
So you learn a very valuable lesson about walking out
in space, surrounded by lots of metal objects.
But sometimes you have to take risks. To prove your theory, I nearly died.
My theory, you nearly died. That does not give us any form of bond. Because I'm a grumpy Tellarite. And you should have done your job better.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right there. That was a.
I mean, like the captain turns you down over this. Like she's like livid that you've just like done this. And it's like we know, like the risks. Yada. She gives you a right kind of stripping down over it. But aside from that, we've been working on the sensor readings too from the blips that we found.
Yeah.
That we think somewhere within the gas giant, we have confirmed the readings that you've had before about something like the radiation. We can theorize that there is a nuclear capable civilization possibly down there. She relents that we do need to investigate.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
That seems like the most likely.
Okay.
Option.
Cool.
So with the stresses, would that what I've been through, that inflict any kind of stress on?
It would have, but because we're in a new scene, it just goes away.
Cool. That's fine.
It's not like hit points where you have to bring them back up or anything.
Sure. Okay.
It's more kind of thresholds.
Sure. Okay.
That kind of thing. So
this is a captain's log now. Is this a new scene? Captain's log.
Let me just check it because it might have skipped ahead a little bit.
Okay, so
talk amongst yourselves.
I think some body horror.
So you'll need a couple of hours to recuperate.
Yeah. Do you know what? No, it's perfect. Well done, mate. Act 3.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Captain's log supplemental. The most recent attack on the Big Dipper has shown that there is something in the dilithium layers of Purgatory's atmosphere. Scans that have been able to penetrate the interference have shown no life forms, only the potential for structures and technology. The only way to put to rest what is going on is to send a modified shuttlecraft down into the depths.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. So we have got to make our way down there.
Yeah.
You are in your shuttlecraft, your modified shuttlecraft that allows you to go into the journey. Descending into orbit, the shuttlecraft's journey is relatively easy for the first several minutes. Communication begins to get a bit of interference from the space atmosphere once the space atmosphere interface hits it. Plasma begins streaming from one of the nacelles of the outer hull of the shuttlecraft before the shields snap on automatically.
Nice.
Nearly 2,000 kilometers above the visible cloud tops, the high altitude winds begin to gain enough force to buffet the shuttlecraft. The pilot must make a control and con task with a difficulty of 1.
Okay. That's me again. Control and con. Difficulty of 1. Do we need to buy any? Do you reckon we should buy some dice with this one? You've got quite a few.
Difficulty of 1. Difficulty of 2.
Let's have another 2 to make it. Another 1. Let's have another 2 to make it 3 dice.
All right.
Are we rolling for the ship as well?
I don't think we can't roll on this.
No,
because
the shuttle.
The shots will assist.
Yes. Okay. So that'll be. Would you say so? Is it control and con?
Control and con. Yeah.
Okay. So so that'll be 14 for me, and then for the ship, do you want it on? What do you want it on? Engines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I faced that for a second.
Engines
and con.
It will be engines and con.
Okay. Nice.
Yes.
So I need a 14 or less. No, that's not. That's not a 14 or less. Nor is that, and that is a crit. That is a 20. That is not a bad thing.
Okay.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I've not done well.
Please roll me a d20.
Okay. Please tell me what I need. Do I need high or low?
It's a random table, mate.
Okay, that's fine then. That's a 7.
Okay. I need a crash moment. Ready?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Smash! Okay, right. The shuttle, the winds from the atmosphere crash into the side of the shuttle. The shields and the inertial dampers are not enough to buffet that. And as the shuttle rocks from side to side, sparks fly out from the consoles. A couple of the EPS units burst with extra power, and the sensors are disabled. You're flying blind. And all you've got is the vision out of the front kind of windshield, front window, and it gets thicker and thicker as these red and pale kind of hues-coloured gas just starts to cover. You are literally flying blind.
I have not done well.
So.
We've all been there.
So the shuttle's actually suffered a breach.
Right.
So in Starship combat terms, that means that because it's the same scale, you've got the number of breaches the same scale as the ship itself.
Mm-hmm.
That system is disabled.
Right.
So if you've got structure, then you'd be suffering from some hull breaches right about now.
Yep.
But the hull integrity is staying. But just because of the sensitive nature of the modifications you've made, you are flying blind.
Okay.
To maintain control, you are going to have to make another control and con task to get down into lower atmospheres with a difficulty of 3, 4, 5. Because you are flying blind.
Okay. We can use a ship on this, can't we?
The ship will assist.
Yep. So I'll take another 3 for it for another 2 dice.
Okay.
And control and con again. It's a 14, and the ship was 9. Giles, come on. Let me see what I get. Come on. Because you've been wrong. Let's try another way.
Yeah.
That's me.
As you're descending, because of the haze, it starts to darken and darken, and soon it's basically just black outside.
I have a. I was wondering if I could use my talent of in the nick of time.
So that's on extended tasks.
Oh, okay. So this isn't really a task then?
No.
Okay.
In terms of this breach, it's basically going to be like a kind of difficulty 3 to repair it. I'm not going to make it an extended task, whereas you can sometimes.
1, 2, 3, 4 passes. 5 passes.
All right.
5 successes.
So that's
5 successes, what you needed.
Wow.
So inside...
In the nick of time.
Yeah.
All right.
Karma heard me.
Nothing can be
And it was
seen until minutes later, at a depth of thousands of kilometers. The sky around your shuttlecraft begins to glow a deep red from the heat of the planet itself.
Whoa.
There is minor buffeting, and the starship bursts forth into the target layer that is visually transparent and relatively stable, with calm winds of hundreds of kilometers an hour rather than thousands. But the pressure here is greater than that found at the bottom of the Earth's oceans.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
We're okay.
It's incredible.
when you emerge into... take 1 momentum off. We're in a new... Okay, you've got it. We're in a new scene.
Yeah, no momentum here.
In this layer, you find, as you try and just kind of settle the shuttle on the right orientation, to the what could roughly possibly be a horizon point.
Yep.
The sky itself, kind of around above you, is a dull red and then black. Slightly brighter red but transparent air. And the ground, thousands of kilometers below, is a roiling, churning morass of cherry red clouds.
Ooh.
So this surface is just clouds.
Yep.
Which is why you're feeling quite nauseous. This is so difficult to just orientate the
really
shuttle.
Dense clouds.
Yeah, and there's not like a horizon you can fix your sight on, because it's all like it's all shifting. And, right. The ecosystem is similar to ocean life on many worlds, with small plants gathering, falling from dust, and you kind of see them floating around in the air, because it's what you can see rather than what you can scan.
Mm.
In these upper layers of the sky, so-called, you've got massive filter-feeding organisms that you could I guess that they are from what you
krill
see.
Kind of thing.
Massive krill, like hundreds of meters long.
Wow.
Big space whale style stuff.
See, space whales.
Yeah.
Damn those space
Damn
whales.
it.
They're everywhere.
Kilometers in length. Smaller organisms occupy every ecological niche around this. And you can see off in the distance, just as you're starting to repair the sensors, some of the crystalline coral-like creatures that move around seem to exist, possibly through some strange form of kind of like photosynthesis or something. They're interacting with the actual planet and its kind of thing itself. You're going to need to repair the sensors before we can actually start digging into what those are.
Yep.
And that, friends, where I think is a good point to finish.
I think so. Yeah. Awesome.
This dramatic vista.
Yeah. I was just kind of Barbarella.
That Lloyd blatantly stole for our.
It's kind of Barbarella in scope and scale.
Yeah.
Sort of swirly.
Yeah.
Lots of ink in water.
Strange clouds and swirly stuff, and like crystalline structures and different creatures and all sorts of stuff like that. So cool. So that was. I mean, we tore through the first 2 acts of that.
Yeah.
So that was.
But you know. It's a 2-shot.
No,
safety
protocols.
Yeah.
That's it. Daring and chucking ourselves into the deep.
Yeah,
Let's do it. It was just the TOS way,
right?
Yeah.
That's it. It's all daring in TOS.
It's all daring. It's
right?
Jump in both feet. And work your way out.
Yeah. So that was part 1 of Drawing
awesome.
Deeply from the Well. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, that was really good. That was excellent fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I haven't shot anyone yet, but it was really good fun.
Good.
Give it
Not
time.
to say all my characters are one-dimensional and always want to shoot people.
But I was looking for the judo chopping sword. We'll see what happens.
I am loving the technicality of the mission.
Yeah.
Like, I'm finding it a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
But Aaron's really good at that kind of writing. As I said, he did a lot of Starship intros in the book. He's done more in the command book as well. It's really great stuff.
The actual sort of crunchiness of the techno babble.
Yeah, right.
Is proper.
It's just rewarding.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I'll make sure for the TNG we find something that's a bit more action orientated.
But I like this. This is like proper.
This is proper Trek.
This is proper Trek. This is exploring
things,
stuff. It's not all about shooting
weird
glimpses.
stuff. Yeah. Right.
I've enjoyed it being more investigating and a bit more theatrics rather than just shooting things. So it's been a really good introduction to action.
I'm not to pick up your phaser once, which has been good.
Cool. There we go, right? I just think you're like sat at the helm just ready. Like, if they come inside...
I'm always ready. There's a breach!
If they come inside...
They're coming to get me!
Cool. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it in chat. We are back next week with more of the same. We'll be finishing off this adventure, and then 2 weeks after that, we'll be running. I'll be running a TNG adventure. I haven't actually determined which one yet. Probably not mine. Maybe mine.
Oh, do it.
Well,
come on,
there
Sam.
are similar vibes to this. Like,
okay.
So, like I said, if you want like a bit more of a tactical one, then I've got one in mind that we can do.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
And there'll be some cool TOS throwbacks that you'll like in it.
Well, you know me.
So there we
I
go.
love TOS throwback.
All right, so let me do
Hey, mate, dude, we had an Enterprise throwback about weapons, right?
There you go, right? Spatial torpedoes.
Spatial torpedoes, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let me show the book before we go around. And
yes.
Chat us about
and of course, our lovely gaming table.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So thank you very much to Geek and Son, for the use of this cool table.
Yeah.
We've got the use of it every week, and it just really helps us out.
Really does. Yeah.
You've got the kind of slats on it that you can pull out. So this has like a little dip in it. It's even got the bluey lights and stuff,
which you can change to red if you
want
to get your red alert.
Remote control.
But what's cool is, as I say, we can technically take the cup off. Leave this set up, just put the slats on, and it becomes a table again.
Like a dining table.
And then next week, we just take it off, and we are here. We're done. We're ready to go.
There we go.
That's what I like about it.
We did our QVC bit.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
And this is just out. So this adventure is from the Strange New Worlds Mission Compendium, which is volume 2 of our Mission Compendiums. The volume 1 is These Are the Voyages. This is Strange New Worlds. Can you guess what, if we do a third, what that might be called? Yeah, you're all doing the thing.
New lives, new civilizations.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you enjoyed that, check it out online. You can get the PDF at Drive-Thru-RPG, as well as our own online store at Modiphius.net, and you can get hard copies in your friendly local gaming stores or in our online store as well. So check it out. Yeah. If you are me and you don't have a lot of time to prep for GMing anymore, I read this in like an hour.
Yeah.
So I did some actual prep in an hour. I've even got a flowchart of where they're like here somewhere, I think.
Sure. And these reference sheets are great as well.
Yeah, so that's part of it.
Where does it say goblins question mark on there? That's always the...
It's not one of those sessions,
no.
mate. It's not one of sexy goblins. It's not one of those questions. But yeah, so check it all out because we're really proud of the game. And I really enjoy running it.
It's my second, not the second time I've played Star Trek Adventures, but it's my second Star Trek Adventures
adventure.
On the stream.
Oh yeah.
And it's a totally different vibe. It's the same era, totally different vibe. Yeah. And that's what I like about Star Trek. Yeah. Doesn't matter where you play it, even if you play TNG era, DS9, Voyager, TOS, Enterprise, the vibe will still, you still have the different vibes within those areas. And that's what I like about it. It's, you can
the game's designed to play any time.
Sure.
So we cater for all that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Rhys, where can we find you around the internet and stuff? And any other things you want to plug?
On the internet, you can find me lurking on YouTube. I have a very, very small channel that I don't really do anything to. But
do Lego stuff though, right?
I do my Lego stuff, but so YouTube and on Instagram I'm Minis Models of Madness, and you can see my Lego and my mini painting and shenanigans going on there. And
have you posted your bird of prey? Because you sent me that photo of your bird of prey.
Actually, if anyone went to Destination Birmingham and saw it, they might have seen it.
Oh, right.
So it was at Destination Star Trek last weekend.
Yeah.
Several of my Lego models were there. There was a big bulk cube built by someone I know.
Yeah. So Nathan was down there running demos as well.
Yep.
So we had some presents there too, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And Nathan's the designer for the 2D20 system. So
it was awesome.
He was there too.
But, yes, my bird of prey went down quite well.
I hear we're getting a Tribble for the office.
Okay, not a Lego one. That might be very
nice. No. That would be very nice. But he bought one for us apparently.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Soon we'll be overrun and you'll never hear from us again.
Yes. In fact, I've still got a sculpture of Tribble. I said I'd do a Tribble on a base for all the RPG too.
Oh yeah.
When you brought it out last year.
Yeah.
I might do you a Borg one. Because you're the boss.
Tribble.
Yeah, because you're the boss.
Cool.
And Giles.
Yeah, Giles, where can we find you on the internet, if anywhere?
You can find me on Instagram as Bardic Tales, all one word, where you can see a lot of my miniature painting or uncompleted miniatures, like Fallout.
We follow each other.
Yes, we do. So we do like Fallout, unfinished painted models, RPG stuff, dungeon maps, beer, and old school fantasy books and heavy metal kind of stuff. That's my jam. But yeah, you can see all my uncompleted modelling projects and Fallout. Which is, I will repeat Fallout because that's what I mostly do here is Fallout. So it's been good.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, neat.
Well, I am not on Instagram, but pretty much everywhere else around the internet, I am
Instastam.
at RPG Webby. Yeah. So I stream games. So we run a campaign called After the Fire, which is from the Green Ronin's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, and we are well into that because I'm a massive Westeros nerd.
Nice.
I'm hoping to run a bit of Strange New Worlds as well on my own channel.
Excellent. That'd be cool. That'd be good work.
Try and get a little cast together.
Nice.
And there might be a bit like this where we do like a one-shot or a two-shot with the cast, and then I might try and pick up some other friends, and we might do another one, different cast, different crew, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to put that together. As well, I've got my own little project too, as well as this is my day job. So if you look around on the internet for the Spy game, we kickstarted that not long ago, and the beta just came out. So we are working on that when I'm not here because I don't have a life.
Of course not.
Because my life is this job.
Yeah.
Turns out when you turn your
hobby into your job,
it's a lifestyle,
it's a
right?
lifestyle, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, so if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's RPG Webby, and then Twitter as well, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
All right. So if you liked what you saw today and you're watching back on YouTube, then check out the Twitch channel. Just look for Modiphius. Follow us. Tomorrow, if you're not watching back, if you're watching live, tomorrow we have a vampire stream for Halloween.
Yeah.
And that is going to feature an exclusive look at the game that we have been developing for it. So the chronicle we've been developing for it called The Fall of London. And we are going to have the kind of first part of that. It's going to be run by the writer, Mike Nudd. So he's coming in to actually be the storyteller for that. And then we've also got some players who have been writing on it, including Andy, who wasn't here this week, as well as Matt, who is the line manager for it too. So there's like a kind of insider kind of group playing it, which should be really, really exciting. So I'm looking forward to sitting back and watching that tomorrow evening.
Mike loves his vampire.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, as I said, he wrote that first bit of the of the Chronicle. So if you're really into vampire, then check that out tomorrow, or check out the VOD on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Indeed, we will. Thanks,
See you later.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.